Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Aces High here, and today I'm bringing y'all a greenhouses guide. Greenhouses are easily one of the best ways to make passive money in Farming Simulator 22. In fact, in my opinion, they're kind of overpowered and they give you too much money, that it kind of kills the game if you just go for this strat. But hell, to have a few of them for some extra money, that's always nice, that's always fun. So I'm going to show you guys everything you need to know about it. Real quick before we get started, if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, hit that sub button, stick around. I plan on posting a lot of simulator content, a lot of guides, things like that, not just farming sim. I'm looking at Gold Rush, I'm looking at Construction Simulator, I'm looking at all kinds of stuff. So stick around, man. I think you'll enjoy it. Alright, so the first thing that we need to look at is where the location for it is going to be. So if you click on farmland here, we can see all of our different plots. And as you scroll around, there is only one thing that you absolutely need for greenhouses. You see, greenhouses need water. You put water in and it can grow either lettuce, strawberries, or tomatoes. Your choice. And they take varying amount of water to make those vegetables. So there's a couple ways that you can get water. Either you can fill it up inside of a truck and bring it back. I guess that's the only way, but you can get from two different sources. So you can get it from little guys like this. There's a water tower right there. I know there's one up here, and there's one somewhere in the north here. I don't remember exactly where it was because I never end up using it. That being said, I usually stick to the south side, and I either use that one or I'll use this one. I have bought this plot before, and I've lined both sides with greenhouses and then use this to fill up. The problem with filling up from a water tower is it is incredibly slow. So if you get the chance, just buy next to this lake. You can back right into the lake. Possibly this lake over here too, I'm not sure. And it fills up much quicker. So what we're going to do for this guy is we're just going to buy right here. $429,000. Most of it's going to be wasted space, but heck, that's okay. Honestly, how much is this? 720. It's not worth it. So yeah, we're gonna buy right here. So now that we got our land bought, we need to buy something. So we need a semi truck so we can carry some water. As you can see, none of these regular trailers will carry liquid. That's because you actually have to go to animals. So if you scroll down the trailer section, you will find the animal section, and you'll find different liquid carrying containers. Personally, I just go with this big guy, 32,000 liters. It's the way to go. And then you need a semi truck to pull it. Let's grab ourselves a truck. I really like this Mack truck. It's just my favorite. No particular reason. Any of them will work. And let's get that guy on there. Make it official. All right. So we're going to start by filling up these guys with water. Alright, so I'm going to head over to our property and head over to that lake, just like I told you. Alright, you guys, before we go ahead and grab our water from the lake, I just want to show you the speed difference kind of that we'll get our water from the water tower. So as I was saying previously, it is quite a bit slower if you grab water from the water tower. If you decide that you want to, that's what these guys are, the big water towers sitting around. And you just kind of pull up right next to it and you'll have a start filling option. In fact, I already have it. And I'll just hit start filling. As you can see, it's 1, 2, 3. It takes a while to fill up this way. So instead, we're just going to head on over to the lake. Alright, and as you can see, if I back into the lake like this, a start filling appears as well. And you can see how much faster it's filling. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 2 to 3 times as fast as filling up the water station. It'll still take probably about 20 seconds to fully fill. Oh, that was a dangerous run, dear. He went right under my truck. But it is significantly faster. Probably 30 seconds, honestly. It takes a good minute and a half, 2 minutes at the water tower, so it's quite the difference. Alright, and we are now over on our lot. Production, greenhouses, and a large greenhouse. So if you look at this greenhouse, it does have several things. First off, you can see that there is a water icon. That is the water icon for where you need to drop off the water. I recommend putting that next to a road or something. Another thing, another option, or another thing that will be shown is these little construction symbols you see on the right side of my screen right now. That's where the pallets, if you decide to store, will be held for the greenhouses. We won't be using those, but it is something to keep in mind. So, what we're going to do is we're going to place a whole bunch of them. Just like this. And you're just going to place them as close as you can to each other. But not quite, but in line, you know. So. Something like that. And all you have to do is go backwards. You can take extra time, more time than I'm taking to make it perfect. But usually I just kind of tap backwards until it allows me to drop it and doesn't say it's overlapping the previous object anymore. We're just going to start with 10 and I will show you how incredible these are. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alright, here it is. So if you go underneath buildings and then silo extensions, you will find this guy on the end. This guy seems to work really well with all of the greenhouses. So what I do is I just go ahead and come on over here and I will just stick a bunch of them directly behind the greenhouses. So, something like that. I like to stick, I don't know, maybe 3 for each one. It doesn't really matter. You just put a couple. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It can if you want it to look perfect. But I think it kind of looks nice when they're just kind of spread about as well. As long as you have, you know, at least one behind each one. In all reality, all these do is they add extra water to the capacity. So it means that you don't have to add water again for an extended period of time the more of these that you have. So we're going to go ahead and put 3 of them behind every one. Something like that. And when you're done, you will have it looking like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit, just so it's a little easier for myself, make some roads, things like that. And I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, welcome back. I have decided to just draw a couple roads. Basically, I have one coming in from the main road, sweeping in front of all of them, and then looping around another one in case you decide to come in this way. Unfortunately, I do not own this land right here, so only let me draw up to this point. But you can come straight in here from the lake and kind of swoop around, do a big loop as well, and then come back. Alright, so let's get down to it. If you go into the main menu and you scroll down to this little conveyor belt, it'll open up all your productions. You now have all these greenhouses. So here is the breakdown on the greenhouses. In order to make 1 tomato, it takes 1 water. In order to make 1 lettuce, it takes 2 water, so twice as much water to make lettuce. However, if you look at this, it's half the cycles per month for lettuce versus tomato. So each month you will end up with half as much lettuce as you do tomato, but it will take the exact same amount of water. Strawberries take 1 water for every 2 strawberries, and they have 1,536, which is the same as tomatoes, cycles per month. What that means is that for every 1 lettuce that you make in a month from a greenhouse, you will make 2 tomatoes, or you could have made 4 strawberries. However, in order to make those 4 strawberries, it will take 2 water, right? It will also take 2 water for a lettuce, or 2 water to make the same equivalent, or a same amount basically as the different types of crops. So, personally, I like to deal with lettuce. The reason I like to deal with lettuce is because I'm going to have these auto selling anyway. But in case I want to stick them on storing, they can only store up to, I think it's 7,000 or 10,000. So if I have lettuce, it's less actual crops that I have to store in here, and I can store far more money to sell in the expensive months. That being said, you know, lettuce is just kind of the way to go in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on all the lettuce ones. Then you have another option. Now that you have it on, we have it storing. What that will do is next to each of the greenhouses, you will have 10 pallets, 8 or 10 pallets that are stored at a time. And you can, if you don't put yours so tight like I have mine, then you can actually pick them up with a forklift, load them onto a trailer, and you can sell them. Or you could take a penalty. If you Google it, it used to be about 40%, which made it not worth it for all these. However, it's closer to 10% now. And in my opinion, it's not worth doing with the forklift. It's better to just auto sell. So you take this and you change output. Go ahead and do that on each of them. And make sure that they say selling. All right, so now I would like to point out something. The area where the storage containers are does overlap. So as you can see, with 3 storage containers, these hold 70,000 water with 3 behind them. But the middle ones, I mean, they hold, well, they have 70,000, sorry. Probably hold about 90,000 when that's full. This one probably holds about 100 if you get to the middle. Probably closer to 115. This one holds like 130. So they are going to vary if you do like that. Why is this distributing? Oh, it's selling. There we go. I must have messed up on one. Anyway, my point is that will last you a couple years. They do burn through about 50,000, 45 to 50,000 every year to make lettuce, but it's well worth it. So now that we have those selling, there's only one step left. We have to take our trusty truck and we have to fill all of them. Alright, so once you get here, you roll up to the first one. You don't even have to be that close to it. You can be probably about this far away. And start filling. You'll see it's going down as it fills. As soon as you see the amount slow down. Right, should be any second now. Wow, this one was thirsty. It's holding a lot. There it goes. Then it keeps on trying to empty, so you just go ahead and you pull forward until it starts dumping more. And you just do trip after trip after trip like this, and it will make you fantastic money. These 10 greenhouses alone will make you probably 150,000 or so a year. We'll go ahead and test it out at the end of this video to see exactly how much they make. But for now, I'm going to make a few more trips. I'm going to go ahead and fill it. All right. So I went ahead and I put a little bit more water into some of these. They're not all full, but as long as they all have at least 50,000, they will last one full year. So it's August right now. I'm going to go ahead and speed it up and let's see how much money we make. We are currently sitting at just a hair short of $700,000. As you can see, I do not owe any bank loans or anything, so I shouldn't lose anything to that. They do have a small operation cost, but it's only a couple dollars each per month, and they'll easily make you more than that. So let's sit back, let's relax, and see how much money we make. All right, you guys. So let's try it, or let's see what our profits were. So it looks like we're up to $820,000, and it's August again. It's been 1 year. Each of these should have drained about 50,000, 45, 50,000 water. So keep that in mind. If you put enough storage containers behind, you can make it last a couple years, but it'll take much longer to fill. Um, Typically, I take once a year. I'll turn around and I'll decide to fill it, but that's just me. So that's some nasty looking cabbage. Oh, material's missing. Actually, it looks like we are running out of water. That's why they're starting to dry out. Maybe not. It says materials missing. Yeah, looks like we're running out of water on these ones. However, that must have just happened because I expected $120,000 in a year. Each one of these gets about $1,000 a month. It is not exponential. It's linear. So if you have 20 of them, you get $20,000 a month. That works out to $240,000 a year. If you have 100 of them, you get 100K. That works out to 1.2 million a year. It will just take quite a while to fill up with all that water. If you guys have a better way to fill it with water, let me know. Seriously. I know there's the pumps and hose pack. I haven't picked it up yet, but there might be something in there that you can use. Not really sure. But yeah, that's it. Easy as that. You just fill it with a little bit more water and you are good to go. Let me know if you guys have any questions or anything. If not, hope y'all dug it. It's an easy way to make money. Till next time, this is Aces High, and I'm out.